Hello, I'm Katrice Cornett, and I'm here to invite you to participate in the Raise Your Mic Gospel, Christian, and Inspirational Singers and Songwriters Music Challenge.
Hi, I'm Elaine Sanders Mayfield, and I just want to give you some guidelines of who's eligible. The challenge is open to gospel, Christian, and inspirational singers and songwriters. Participants must have a valid email address to submit their entries. All participants must submit a video of themselves performing an a cappella piece. The video should be 1 minute or less in length. The email subject line should include the participant's name and Raise Your Mic challenge entry. All submitted videos will be uploaded to the T.H.S.A. Records YouTube challenge. The first 2 rounds of the challenge will be conducted virtually via the YouTube channel. Participants must adhere to the submission deadline specified in the notifications. Jermaine, tell them about the finale.
Yes, this is Mr. Jones, and the finale of the challenge will be live in-person event. Finalists will be selected based on their performance in the virtual rounds. A panel of celebrity industry insiders will serve as judges for the challenge. Judges will evaluate the performance based on various criteria, including the vocal talent, the stage presence, and the overall impact.
We look forward to receiving your inspiring a cappella performances and witnessing the power of your musical talents. Good luck to all participants in the Raise Your Mic Gospel, Christian, and Inspirational Singers and Songwriters Music Challenge.
To be delivered from the opinions of people. It shackled my mind from when I was a very young child, and it controlled me. And I knew that I could have been better. When I got free, and I mean free for real, you couldn't stop me. People said, I can't believe that this is the same person. You better believe it. It was always this person, but I suppressed who I was. I allowed the external forces on the outside to make me an introvert, so to speak, when I was really extroverted. But it was because of the opinions of people. And let me tell you, when you get free, you are going to put people out of a self-appointed job.
Not only that, when you get free and you're around people who are not free, they are intimidated by your freedom.
Yes.
And you have to be strong enough to stay free.
Stay free.
Stay free.
You on fire tonight. You on fire tonight.
Welcome, everyone. I always forget to put on my microphone. I'll be watching the commercials and stuff. Welcome, everybody, to T.H.S.A. live interviews with Katrice and Elaine. We are excited to be back with you this week.
Yes.
How you doing over there, Elaine? Everything good?
Everything's good. I'm excited about tonight. So, everything's good. Well, you got a lot of nerve. We were in the studio all morning.
Yeah, we have a special guest all the way from, let me put my mic on. Oh, yeah. We got a special guest tonight from all the way from Florida, in Tampa, Florida. And I am excited for you guys to hear his music. They just released a new single, but as we do always, we got tons of announcements. If you are watching and you are tuning in, let us know where you're watching from. Bishop Fulton Parham, we thank you for tuning in. And he's watching us from Goose Creek, South Carolina. We'd like to know where you're watching us from, and just say hi, so we know that you're on. We're excited again, like I said, about the show tonight. But let's just start with some announcements. For those of you who haven't been tuning in and are just tuning in, Elaine, myself, and Pastor Bubby Franklin Bubby Fan had the opportunity to be a part, and there was some other people from this area too, of an anthology called The Creatives.
Yes.
The Creatives Leadership. Hold up, I got it here. Hold on. I got the book. Yep. The Creators Leadership. And
Yes.
it's a book. And with a bunch of us got together, authors who are leaders in various disciplines and areas, and we all wrote a chapter. So this is my first time actually being that type of author, and it made the
Me too.
international best sellers list. So if you can go to any of our websites. My website is katricecornettministries.org and purchase it, and you can get your copy there. We are actually trying to plan a book release here, like a launch here in New Jersey. The main writer who had us, Yvette Owens, she is in Connecticut. So we're organizing something where we could do a book launch here in New Jersey in November, close around Thanksgiving.
Yes.
'Cause, she'll be in town. That's actually my sister for the holiday. And so we're excited about that. So you'll be getting more information about that. Um, let's see what else we got on our tablet today. I got the announcements here. I released a project in September for my birthday called
Yes.
Ordained, the Deluxe Edition. And what I did was in 2015, I was blessed to release a whole project, but then we got blessed with our own distribution company. And so we pulled it down, we redid some things, and we added some of the new singles to this project. We refurbished the cover. And I just want to speak to that for a little bit. I met with a couple people who just in different services and throughout the course of this year, who have been like leaders or coaches or whatever, who have been just saying, do it again. I know you tried it once before and you might not have think that it worked out the way that you wanted it to work out, but just try again, because this is the season for you to do it again. And so that word just kept getting poured into me
Yes.
all like last year and this year. So I did it again, and I hope that you guys go and download it. And
Please
it,
go get it.
yeah,
Because, to that point, Katrice, sometimes we feel like, well, what we're learning is that
hmm
music that God gave us years before, it's landing now. You know
yeah,
what I mean? It's finding its landing now and its footing now. Because it never gets old. The word never gets old,
absolutely. That's why I
right?
love gospel music.
Yes. So please go download Ordained
The
for this
deluxe edition.
deluxe edition, Ordained.
Yeah,
You
actually, the
really
other
will be
one you
blessed.
can't even get it anymore because I just took it all down. So the only ordained that's out there is that one now. I took the old one down.
Yeah, so everybody should run and get it.
Yeah, and I want to encourage you guys who listen to our show or follow us in any kind of way that if you got something that you are doing or you're trying to do or you did try to do in the past, revisit it, because God can refresh and he's always refreshing us, right? He's
Yes.
always building us. We're always growing. Nothing gets old, like Elaine just said, when you're in the Lord. So if you have a dream and it didn't quite work out, maybe you didn't have the right team the first time. I
Yes.
know now maybe you didn't have the right promoter, or maybe you didn't have the right, book cover. Just sometimes it's just a matter of changing the graphics on the front of your book cover. Like maybe you're a different person now. We've all grown. And so try it again. Don't give up on things that maybe didn't work in the past.
Yes.
Yeah.
Refresh, refocus,
Yeah.
redesign,
Absolutely.
reinvent. There's all these rewords, and
Absolutely.
it's a reword for a reason.
Yeah.
So get to work.
Yeah, and don't give up, because if you're still here, you're here for a reason. And so God wants to do something through you and for you. So when we quit, sometimes we quit too soon. Y'all know how many times I quit the group. I ain't doing this no more. I quit. Don't call me. I ain't coming to your concerts. I ain't singing no more. I'm just done with this. And God wouldn't let me quit, people. Soon as I say it out my mouth, somebody's calling. Do you still have your group? Okay, God, you got a sense
Never
of humor.
fails.
You know what I mean? Like, I quit. You
Yeah.
can't quit. You can't quit. You got to keep going. So, yes, we're working on new music. Elaine has a project we're working on that's about to come out. and we got a few little touches to do on it. So how many, if you guys know anything about the recording industry, I want y'all to type it in there. So some of y'all know the process and some of you don't. So let's talk about the process. I want to talk about the process for a little bit.
Katrice, number one, it is more than a process.
Yes.
People crack me up that don't do it. They're like, oh, okay, I'm really wearing out your Simply Elaine. I'm wearing this out. When are you going to do another one? They have no clue
No clue.
how intense it is. I mean, one song is taking months.
Months.
So when
Yeah.
people talk about a CD,
A
hello,
whole CD like with multiple songs. Yeah, that's a lot.
yes,
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, so we
unbelievable.
want it to be good for you guys. So we had to do some new edits to it after we
Yeah.
listened to it. We went to the UMAC conference and we got some great advice from
Oh,
Professor Craig and a lot of the people who were our facilitators over the classes that we had. And one of the
yes,
things that they told us was that sometimes it's good to let other people in the industry who are doing the same thing you're doing or who have been doing it longer than you to listen to your project before you put it out. So we decided to do that with Elaine's project.
yes.
And Pastor Bubby came back with some great insight, and so did Professor Craig. And so we took their advice. So we had to redo some edits, and it's okay.
I was
Because
terrified, but
yes,
it's okay
it's okay.
because I know that they would give real uh, strong criticism,
Hmm.
but they knew how to do it that I wouldn't get my feelings hurt.
Yeah,
So we're doing it, which is
yeah,
great.
yeah. And so,
And speaking
yeah.
of that, at some point we got to talk to Professor Craig Hayes about UMAC, July 15th through the 18th, 2024.
Yeah, we want to bring him back so he can give you guys the details about what's happening. You want to make sure that you get registered as soon as they put it up there for early registration and stuff like that. Get your t-shirts and all of that good stuff ordered. You do not want to miss this conference. It is absolute. If you've ever been to conferences or if that's something that you do, trust me, this is not the same thing. I've been
It's
doing
not
conferences
the same.
since I can't even remember workshops and conferences my whole entire music career, and this was totally different. It was very refreshing. It awakened some things in me, and a lot of people have the same testimony who
Yes,
went to the conference. Yeah,
yes.
so you want to make sure you
Katrice,
do that.
yes, Katrice got the opportunity to teach one of her
Yes,
songs. She was one of the first five
yeah,
that had the opportunity. They were the first five for this conference. So they will go down in history to teach their music um, to um, to the conference. And I'm telling you, it
yeah,
was great music. That's right, Bishop Barham. It was, you will be in the house. It was great music, and it was music that we could take back to our churches and
absolutely.
leaders. It was wonderful. And it was great for uh, the feedback. The
Hmm.
feedback that they received was so genuine, uplifting, and it really motivates you because sometimes we get tired. Katrice has been doing this 30 plus years. I've been singing forever. Katrice has been singing forever. And then we evolved into other things. Katrice has been playing, directing, conferences, all kinds of worship leader. And we've both been doing those things. And it has really mounted to some serious
Yeah,
years. But
yeah,
you do get tired.
you do. And you need a
And
refreshing. So the conference is a great place to do that.
yes.
Yeah, it's a great place to do that. It was so refreshing. To sometimes you just need to sit instead of be serving all the time and be fed. Every class was amazing.
Oh,
Every instructor was
oh,
amazing. Like it was stuff like I'm still regurgitating stuff that they taught us, saying things
yes.
and adding things to my even workshops that I've been doing that they taught us at the conference. Yeah,
That Dr.
absolutely.
Weta Harding.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh.
yeah.
And was was Lorenz one of the
He was,
instructors?
yep, he sure was. He was one. Yep.
Yes.
Yep, he was
And
in our first class, the first session we had.
yes, and Dr.
Mhm.
Anthony Macbeth.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great. So it was amazing, and it was a lot of young people there, which I love. Y'all, those of you who know me know that I have a heart for the youth, and I just absolutely love working with them. It was a lot of young people there, which also gives you hope. And because
Yes.
it was people from everywhere,
Yes.
you get to see, you get hope that we're not done. Like, it's not finished. Like, if when you stay in your own little corner of the
Cocoon.
world, you see things kind of like fall off, or
Mm-hmm.
church, there's no choirs. Let me tell you, there was choirs, real choirs, every night. Like, choirs, I'm telling you, like full blown, like 50, 30, 40, 50 people in a choir. We don't see that a lot in New Jersey anymore.
Tampa, and they came through.
Yeah.
There was some Jacksonville, Florida that came through.
Yes. Washington,
Ooh,
D.C.,
Bishop
Maryland.
Josh Bracy,
Yes. Yes. Choirs, y'all, choirs. And y'all know that's been missing in the churches, especially since the pandemic.
the
And
sound,
so,
yes.
yeah, the sound. Yep, absolutely. So we were excited about that. It was just such a great feeling. And so we want you guys to think about doing that and save up your pennies and make sure that you can be a part of that. We
Yes.
have raise your mic. I haven't been getting
Yeah.
the response that I would like. I don't think people kind of like understand maybe what is really happening with that. So I
Yeah.
wanted to kind of like speak to that a little bit.
Yes. Let's do that.
Yeah, Raise Your Mic is a competition or a challenge. We're calling a challenge for independent artists who are out there who believe that they have a gift for writing or and singing. And so we would like to offer our services. The winner actually wins a free single deal. And we would like to offer our expertise and our services to you. The
Right.
Everything is absolutely free
Free.
for the
There's no registration. It's free.
free. So
Right.
I think that kind of like scares people because like, oh, why are they giving it away for free? Because we've been there before,
We get it.
spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars
And
on
thousands. Yes.
thousands, right, on competitions and entries. Submit your song, $35. Submit your song here, $40, $50 here and there to get your song noticed or played or whatever on the radio or whatever. Types of things, because that's what you do as an independent artist to get known and to
You
be
want
able.
that visibility.
Yes. So it's not even free, y'all, for real. And like
Free.
Elaine said, we know what we're doing. We both together and with our other partner, Jermaine Jones, been on
Yes.
American Idol. Like, y'all saw him literally on TV. So we have the experience. We can really help you. We
Yep.
genuinely want to help you. We're not doing it. It's no trick
We love
or
it.
anything. Yes, we love what we're doing. And it really is
Yes.
free. We're not going to ask you for money after you
Yes.
get in here. It's literally free. So we would,
People are
yeah,
really suffering from PTSD. They
yeah.
really are, Katrice.
Look,
They
we
really,
got it. I got it in certain areas.
yeah.
You do
But
certain things to me, and
trust me,
yeah,
this challenge is free. There's no registration free.
none,
Free. And
none.
it is because we are independent artists. We understand the plight of the
Yes,
independent artists. We understand the cost of what independent artists go through.
absolutely.
It's free. It's not a gimmick.
No, it's not.
We are offering this, and all you have to do is follow the steps of the challenge.
Yes.
Send a videotape of what? Less 30 seconds, a
30
minute?
seconds, or 30 seconds to a minute of you singing any song. It doesn't
Of
have to
singing.
be original, but
Acapella.
yeah, acapella. It has to be acapella because we want to hear your skill level,
You're
your
right.
voice, right? And so and see, what you are working with, so we know how to help you. And you just email it to us at thsarecords@gmail.com, and we'll go from there. We upload you to our YouTube channel. So I'm saying this because the first round we already started, but I'm going to extend it to the 15th of October.
Yep, we are
We
extending
are
the first round.
right.
Yep.
We want everyone to have the same chance. So we're going to start uploading videos this week. to our YouTube channel. And then all you got to do is get your people to come on and like it.
And vote.
Like the video.
Yep. And
The person
that's
with
it.
the most likes moves to the next round.
Yep.
It's as simple as that. T.H.S.A. I'll type it in, Clara. T.H.S.A. records@gmail.com. Thank you for tuning in too, Clara. This is my friend, Clara. She's my real estate agent too.
Awesome. Hi, Clara.
Y'all need a house or something? Yeah, yep. So yeah, Clara, I'll type it in the thing and put it across the thing for you. But yeah, just send in 30 seconds to a minute. Don't have to be long. And
people have got to stop second guessing themselves.
Yes.
I don't know if I really have it, but they sing every Sunday.
Right.
Or they sing in the bathroom or whatever. And people say, oh my goodness, you have such a gift. Stop second guessing yourself. Now is the time.
Right. Exactly. Now is the time. Do it now. Like I said before, if you tried it and it didn't work, do it again. God is giving you a new chance. You're still here. You're still breathing. He has something for you to do. And if it's music and singing, and we have songwriters, oh my God, we have songwriters. If you have a concept, we'll work with you. We collab together with everyone. The song the song we were working on in the studio today, I have had for, oh my God, I wrote it before the pandemic. I tried everything with the backgrounds. Everything. I tried doing all the parts myself. I didn't like it. I took my daughter in the studio. I didn't like it. So I got a request from somebody who heard the song for me to do it at a workshop because it fits their theme. They want it for November. I said, oh my goodness, I got to get this song ready now because I don't want to do it in public like that, without it being legal and out there. So I said, Elaine, please listen to this song. I need background. She heard it and she put the backgrounds to it. We went in the studio and we laid down the backgrounds today. I'm telling you, every time I hear it, it makes me want to cry because I know what I've been through trying to get this song done. But because of the collaboration with Elaine, she heard it. What she heard was exactly what the song needed. So we have songwriters for you guys and all of that kind of stuff.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Glory to God.
Song. I love it. Well, saw I was singing it all the way home. We didn't even have the radio on. Yeah. And I was like humming it while I'm driving. It's a beautiful song.
Glory to God.
It speaks to you. It speaks to you. Because we need to be reminded and encouraged. So I can't wait.
Hey, Denise, tuning in from North Carolina. How are you?
She's hanging in there.
Yeah. So lastly, and then we're going to bring on our guest. I had a worship workshop scheduled for October 28th. You are hearing it from me. We have to postpone it because the date at the church where we were going to host it, they have too much going on that month and they want their people to actually be involved in the workshop. So, you don't want to overwork your people. So we're going to move it into a new date and I will start announcing that and post it on all our Facebook and all of that kind of stuff for you guys to know. Hi, Paula. Thanks for tuning in.
You know my Paula?
Yes, I do. Very well.
Paula.
No, I know her. Yes.
Also, Katrice, is it okay if we announce LaShawn Cleveland, Cleveland's daughter? She was going to have a conference this December. So be on the lookout. She has moved it to next year. So she has rescheduled that for August 6th, 7th, 2024. So be on the lookout for more information about that. So, Paula, we have to do lunch again.
Yeah, and so lastly, we have to let you know coming up. Our next guest will be say his name, Davion. I always say it wrong.
I guess it is Davion.
Davion.
I say Davion.
I know, Davion. I always say it wrong. Davion and Pastor Bubby Fan will be our next guest. Of course, we'll post it out there so you guys can know the dates and stuff like that. But we are rolling, you guys, with the interviews with the artists, and we are excited. Paula said, yeah, she know y'all need lunch. Get it on the books. Yeah. So yeah,
You have to come go with us.
that would be fun. Yeah. So without further ado, we're going to bring on our guest for tonight, Mr. Larenz Johnson from Florida.
Good evening, everybody.
Hi.
I'm so excited to be on with y'all. Y'all don't even know it.
What it do, nephew?
What's up, Auntie?
We are excited to have you. Yes, we are excited to have you. I'm excited about your new project. We're going to talk about that. But first, introduce yourself to our audience. Let them know where you're from, what you do, and just talk a little bit about yourself.
All right, so good evening, everybody. I'm Minister L.A. Johnson. I hail from the great city of Tampa, Florida. Tampa in the house. Anybody on? I am the minister of worship at the New Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church. I'm the founder of the Tampa Mass Choir. I served in the State Progressive M&E Baptist State Choir for Florida. So I do a lot of music, but on top of that, I'm also an educator. I love our young people. I love serving our young people. So I teach school as well. So that's just a little bit about me. I graduated from the great Florida A&M University. It's our Founders Day, October 3rd, 1887. We were founded. So I was president of the Florida A&M University Gospel Choir during my tenure at FAMU. So I'm just excited to be on. I just believe God for greater in this season. And he's doing greater works in my life. So I'm just so happy to be on tonight.
All right.
We are thrilled.
Yes, we are. So how did you get started with music and how old were you? Because you're young.
Yes.
So let's see.
Two. I was singing it too.
No, that's not my testimony. So I started at about 9. I got baptized in a small country church in T.H.A, Florida. Say that one 5 times. Called New Testament Missionary Baptist Church in T.H.A. And my uncle was the choir director there. And he started me with singing in the youth choir. The first song I ever led was Jesus Is Mine by the Florida Mass Choir. And so that was years ago. And so, so that was really my start. But I come from a very musical family. My uncle was a major in college. My cousin, Evangelist Jan Nelson, was one of the first lead singers for the Florida Mass Choir. She recorded several songs with them. In my church, my godfather was a choir director at the church that I'm currently serving at. And he wrote songs for the Tampa Philharmonic Choir. He worked with Reverend Milton Bigham writing songs. And also Reverend Milton Bigham was the first minister of music here at the church that I'm serving at now. And so he is a great inspiration. And so music kind of has always been around me, but I didn't really push into it until I was about 14. At 14, I told him, I think I know how to direct the choir. I had been practicing on my toy cars at home. And so I was like, I think I can do it. And so they put me up at random in a rehearsal because they said, if you got it, you got it. And the rest is history. That rehearsal went extremely well. They were shocked that I could hear parts because most times they don't expect kids to be able to really hear. We just went up from there. So by the time I was 15, I was the assistant choir director of all the choirs in my church, the adult choirs as well. And so God has just been blessing. And so now I'm the founder of my own choir. But I serve with Gospel Music Workshop of America. Oh gosh, since 2011, I was in the Youth and Young Adult Division under Professor Craig Hayes. Got to give my mentor a shout out. And so, I'm rolling with him with UMAC as well.
Yes, we met at UMAC. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. And so he has really pushed me. I was always writing a little bit, but I was afraid because when you were at Gospel Music Workshop back then, it was huge and getting on that stage in front of all those people. And one day he was just like, you're going to do this. You're going to be a section leader. You're going to... He told me I was going to be a section leader, and he was like, we're going to work and we're going to do this. And he just pushed me out there. And when he pushed me, I said, well, I guess I ain't got no choice. And I just ran into it.
That's Professor Craig Hayes. I wish he was on here because we are
Oh,
just
I can't
his
hear
ears should be
you.
burning. Can you hear?
It's got to be. His ears are burning. Yes,
What happened?
His ears should be burning.
we can still hear you.
Hey Jermaine.
Hi, Jermaine. Thanks for tuning in from Philadelphia, PA.
He froze. Can you hear us, Larenz?
He's not frozen now. You're moving. We can hear you. Can you still hear us?
Doesn't sound like it.
You can't see us? Oh, he's coming back. Yeah. I just want to talk. I was going to chime in about people listening parts. He has to go out and come back in. But
Okay.
he was like, he was glad that they didn't know that he could at that young age hear parts. How about I know adults who can't hear their own parts? Like when you teach music in choirs and stuff like that, it's like I'm like, wait a minute, like you give them the song, you to go home, and then you listen to. I can't pick out my part, so that is a gift. That is a gift. That is
It is a
everybody
gift.
can do it.
It is a gift.
Adults can't do it.
Hey, Henry Hall.
That's why we need section leaders. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, and he was our section leader at UMAC, and he was there. It was funny. He was like, and so like we're learning the parts and we're teaching it. We're trying to teach the parts, and it's like it was kind of funny at UMAC because we were all like in the same room, but at the same time, like the basses were right behind me. I was like, how about I'm singing bass, especially on that one song. What song was that song? And he kept going up. One song we did, and we kept going up higher and higher. Hey, Minister Henry, how are you?
There is Henry Hall, our buddy.
Yes, thanks for tuning in. But yeah,
I love
I'm
his
telling
music.
you, Larenz, learning to hear the different parts and pick them out, that's a gift. Yes. Everyone cannot do that.
Yes, it is. I totally agree. And like I told you before set, I had 14 minutes to go downstairs, teach my choir a whole song, and then run back up here for this interview. And so I told everybody, y'all got to put y'all thinking caps on because we got to move fast and I got somewhere else to be.
Yeah.
I literally just taught a whole song. I taught Witness by Dexter Walker downstairs. And then as soon as I finished, ran back upstairs and let my assistant director take over. But yeah, it's a gift. You got to be able to hear it, though, if you're going to do gospel music.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah. And you only get better at it. So imagine starting at 14 and then, and that's the thing that people, they just think, when you do it effortlessly, like when we saw you in action, we were like, and then we're like listening because you have to hear, it has to be right.
Yes.
And the timing and the band and, all of that going on and the words.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, Lord.
Right. And
he said, yes, Lord.
Right. And then, the execution, and then the whole purpose is ministry.
Right.
Yes.
Ministry and excellence. And don't forget tone. And if you're working with perfection, Professor Diction, and I want it to sound like this, I want it to feel like
Do
this.
They know what you're saying? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
So let's talk about your experience with your CD release, and it was live, correct?
Yes, our single release was live.
Yeah.
I was blessed because Professor did it live on his radio show.
Yes.
I would have never thought for my first single, God would have did it like that.
Yeah.
Most people, we work so hard to get music out there, but to have an established platform push it just really, really made it super, super special. And so the song is entitled Greater Works. If you don't have it, go and download it on all streaming outlets. It's everywhere for you to get. And the song was just inspired by scripture. He that hath begun a good work in you shall perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. And so it's a little vibe, but I believe in having scripture and music. And so I really, really, I can't thank Professor enough for allowing us to do that live on the radio on a Stellar Award-winning station. Like, that's crazy.
5-time Stellar Award, WIMG 1300
AM. Yes.
And we were all listening to your interview. We had us all on there
where else would we be? So
Right.
we were
Right.
excited and cheering you on.
Yeah,
Yes,
and I mean the
absolutely.
amount of love from across the country. I mean, was just amazing. It was a life changing experience. It's something I would never forget. Never.
Yeah. Yeah. So what were some of the things that, because I've done live recordings. So what were some of the things that made you be like, oh, I don't know if I should be doing this. This is really
The
like,
challenges.
yeah, okay,
Let's
money.
start with
All right.
money.
Yeah, yes,
So a live recording, people don't understand, costs so much more money.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to do an authentic live recording because I felt like that's something gospel music kind of has gotten away from. We do a lot of
Yes.
studio
The
stuff.
church
No
feel.
shade to studio because I'm going in the studio probably for the next one. But
Yep.
it costs so much money getting into the studio to try to get those tracks laid out, and especially with all the different auxiliary instruments going in there, getting the singer stems in place, and then that concert, our actual live recording, just trying to make sure the atmosphere is right because people are so on edge in recording because they know people are, you got cameras, and so a lot of times you don't get the full authentic experience because people don't want to look crazy on camera. They don't want to move too much on camera. And so really trying to push the audience, to get engaged and get involved. Like, yes, this is live recording, but this is also church. And so we wanted
Yeah.
to feel like church. And if you don't act like it's church, then it ain't gonna come across the record right.
Right.
And so with it being our first live recording, in our city, we haven't had a choir live recording. Oh, I feel like since the 80s was the
Oh,
last time
wow.
choir live recording in the city of Tampa.
Wow.
So
Was
yes,
it,
it
was
was
it
a
free? Did you charge? Did you
no, it
charge?
was ticketed. It was
Oh,
ticketed.
good. Good.
Um, so we charged. We tried to be reasonable with our price. We charged $30. And people don't
Mhm.
even understand that still didn't cover all the
No
expenses.
way. No
We
way.
know. We know.
Yeah, like that little offering, we was like, yeah, thank you so much, but we still got to pay musicians, and we
Yes.
flew in musicians from different musicians from across the country
Right.
as well for it. So that was a big bill. Then paying for the housing while they were here was a bill.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, the lead singers were compensated was a bill.
Yes.
In the venue, in the instrument rental, the sound technician, the producer. It's so many different layers, and then making sure hospitality is right when you walk in, you feel welcome.
Yes.
Making sure we have vendors there so you can engage and you can support other businesses in the area. So it's a lot involved, but it was a great night, and God moved through that place, and so I can't wait for you to hear some of the other stuff that's coming, because
Oh,
God
Yeah.
moved mightily in that recording.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
that's
So, and
incredible.
then like the overdubs, like in the studio, did you take the whole group or did you take specific people?
So when we did the tracks, we took a smaller group, but for overdubs, I took the whole choir back in. And the reason I took the whole choir back in is because I wanted it to still sound like a choir. I didn't want to lose the essence of what the choir brings to the table, that
Oh,
full, heavy sound.
man.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you take a few people in there, it's clean, but it's not heavy.
It thins
And
out the sound. Yeah.
Exactly. And so I'm like, if we're going to be a mass choir, it got to feel like Mississippi. It got to feel like Florida. It got
Thick,
to feel like
thick.
you got to
Mhm.
have that, that sound there. And so we took the whole choir back in. And I'm fortunate that my people were disciplined enough, knowing like this is business. Like
Time is money.
yeah, and overdubs, you don't get to mess up that many times. You should know your part coming in here for real, because we can't, and we ain't playing that game tonight.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so, but they went in and they killed it. Like, they did what they were supposed to do. I'll say it like that.
Excellent.
Yeah. Awesome. So because I know you're not that young, but you are young and you're
Mhm.
you're in this industry. What advice would you give to someone who is trying to do something like what you're doing and they just, don't really know where to begin or have the support that you had. Like you have a musical family and you understand like
Right.
how would you encourage them?
I would say start in your church. Um,
Mhm.
it is so important to be impactful at home.
Mm.
So you have to start within. If you have a gift, allow your church to cultivate your gift. I don't know where I would be if my church didn't allow me to direct at a young age and give me that exposure to
Yes.
being out front and leading. And so you have to start at home. And when I first started my choir, majority of my members were church choir members who came over.
Mhm.
So, pulling from the community, networking, making sure you're attending events, making sure you're supporting people authentically, even if they don't support you in return.
Mhm.
Because I've learned that they might not come to your program or your event, but you still need to go and make sure you show face and that you're supportive of everybody. Love
Absolutely.
everybody. Don't take the industry lightly. Don't take each moment for granted. Every time you step on a platform, you got to give God all you got. You
Yes.
can allow yourself to be like, oh, well, this is a small church. I promise you, we just sung at a smaller church here that maybe has 100 seats, maybe 100 people. I took the full choir, we had the full band, and we sung like it was 3,000 people in the room.
That's right. That's right.
Because those people matter too.
Yes.
Everybody matters, and you never know who's sitting in the audience. They might be a member of a small church, but they're connected to, someone big across the country.
That's right.
Or
Every
somebody
ministry
came to
moment,
visit. Right.
exactly. Take every ministry moment seriously. Don't take nothing for granted. Go to conventions. Go to the United Music and Arts Conference.
That's it. That's it right there. Yes.
Ding,
Go
ding,
to
ding, ding.
conventions. You have to expose yourself to what's going on around the country. You have to expose yourself to radio promoters. You have to get the knowledge and the wisdom from the people who came before us,
Yes.
because there's nothing like it. And from those experiences, you can take that home and then cultivate the culture in your city. Because I'm in a
Yes.
city where choir music kind of faded out in the 80s and 90s.
We were just talking about that before you came on about
Yes.
how it was so refreshing to be at UMAC with the choirs. Like,
Right.
like choirs were real choirs, like 30 to 50 people strong,
Right.
Yes.
Like,
Right.
it was
Robes.
very refreshing.
Yes, with robes on. We were just like feasting.
Yeah.
It was a feast.
Right, because everybody wants to be in the small group and they only want to handpick the best singers. But it's something about that choir, because if you're a good choir master or choir director, you can train a singer.
That's right.
Yes.
If they have the foundation, if they can at least hear their part, you can work with them. You can, and honestly, even with that, you can teach them how to hear their parts.
Yes,
in my
you can.
church choir rehearsals, we run scales, and we're learning how to hear inversions. We do that in beginning of rehearsal, spending that time to train those ears to be able to hear the different types of chords and music.
Yes.
So I'm a choir boy. So I had to recultivate this culture here. Now we have new choirs coming up. I have choirs that were birthed out of my ministry that I support 100%. And you saw at UMAC, some of my people had to double up with some groups.
Yes.
But it's necessary to help build the culture in the city. And if we're going to really bring choirs back, everybody got to be on the same team.
Yeah.
That's what was so impressive, seeing, Armel jump over here and
Devin,
Davion.
the tall Devin.
Devin. Oh, it's incredible. And I'm like, wait a minute, they're in that group and they're in that group. And you said something very important, which I want you to just expound a little bit on. How you listen to your elders, you listen to older musicians, you listen to other people. That has become a real strain now in this generation. They don't want to listen to us.
And I think a lot has to do with social media and stuff. But go ahead.
Yes. I was just saying, you're right on where I was going. They feel like because the information is so available in their hand with technology that it's that simple. And it's like, it's not the same as sitting with Craig Hayes and him pouring into you. It's not the same as sitting with Dexter Walker and him talking about what he did, or a David Allen and he's sharing his experience with a #1 gospel song that's still sung today. It's not the same, and so we really, or sitting with Jeffrey LaValle. He didn't come last year, but the year before when he came,
Wasn't
just
that
pouring
wonderful?
in that wisdom and knowledge, and letting us know like how they built this and how they traveled around the country and support each other to help lift each other's ministries up. So just really, you got to have a mentor.
Yes.
You got to have someone that can pour into you and share with you the wisdom of the industry. Because if not,
Yes.
social media have you getting eaten alive.
Yep.
Yes.
Because
This weekend we had a women's retreat in Myrtle Beach, Bethany Baptist Outreach Center, and we went to Myrtle Beach, and we had some folks from Philly, and these are my girls from Philly, and the Jersey girls and the Philly girls got together, but one of them is Mrs. Vernell Walker, and
wow.
I love Miss Vernell, but she is an original James Cleveland singer, and to be in her presence and to listen, right, Denise? It's the pouring out of information. And just listening to her saying how she went to Clara Ward's house and she was in her, they didn't call it a war room, they call it a prayer room. She said she got to visit Clara Ward's prayer room. We were just like salivating at the information that she was pouring out at breakfast and at lunch. It was just wonderful. You know,
Go ahead.
I can honestly say that my father, Donald W.T. Carey, he's renowned in this area, right? And I can honestly say that I was almost 30 when I left him. 30. Wow. I had a family with kids when I left him, because whenever I would go out and try to be under someone else, the wisdom and the knowledge wasn't there. My mom said, y'all just spoiled. I said, no, Ma, it's not that. Daddy has something on him that
he has the recipe.
I was 30 when I left our home church. 30 when I got my first job, literally as a vocal coach and over a choir away from my father. I sat under him that long. And I'm telling you, I wouldn't trade that time for anything in the world. I can read, I can write, I can play, I can sing. I hear your part, my part, and the parts that ain't even there. I'm telling you, it is amazing the stuff that you learn when you're willing to sit and absorb. And it's not just me. Like, I run into people all the time. I have people in my inbox. You think we can do a reunion choir, Mr. Carey? Sure. It's like, it wasn't just me. It was millions of people that he did that with. Young people. He was an educator like you. He was a music teacher in the public school system. So it was always the poor. But I'm telling you, I was 30 at 30 some years old. I was married, had 2 kids when I left my dad.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh,
and I didn't. It's just something about having a mentor. Like, you need that. You need that.
Yes. And my sister just brought up hymns.
I've been doing this thing on TikTok because, like, they used to say, Katrice, you know the whole hymn book. We ain't have a choice. Okay.
Listen, you gotta know them. You gotta know, because hymns, there's still an audience that craves them, that loves them.
Yes.
You have to sing them.
Hey, Marquetta,
there's my baby, Marquetta.
Hey, that's my girl there.
Yes, but that was I had that conversation with my nephew today. He was saying you can go to some of these churches that are centers, and they're not singing any hymns, and so they're bringing up these congregations of young people that don't know hymns.
No hymns, they don't know.
And he said he was grateful that the First Lady is incorporating and integrating it into the CCM.
Right, because there is honestly, in my opinion, no song that can be tied back to a hymn. Almost all of the gospel songs we have now, the message of them can be tied back to
a hymn.
Yes.
And so I really would admonish worship leaders, if you can, find ways to pull them together. Make them tied so you can reach every generation, because not all generations like CCM. I'm at a church with such a diverse demographic. It's like Sister Sally, who's been here since 1957, don't want to hear no CCM music at all. But when we can tie it back into a hymn, it's like, oh, now it makes sense. There's a connection. So I definitely, I'm a big.
I just want to greet some of our people. Hey, Earl, how are you? And
this is my nephew, Earl Jr.
Yeah, my cousin Alona from Rhode Island is on, and we got Sherry. Sherry, I don't know where you live. She's like in North Jersey now, up there. So thank you guys for tuning in and listening in and commenting and stuff like that. Denise said, say that, amen. She said amen To the hymns. Yeah, I've been singing. I
Yes.
try to do 4. I call it hymns on Friday. And I go and I record like 4 hymns. I started with my favorites because that's how we do. Hi Pat, she's in Willingboro. Yeah.
Hey.
And that's how I do. And I just sing them a cappella, straight up. My son, you know how the young people, they got to keep you. She said, Mom, your light got to be the same. Try to use the same lighting and stuff for the social media.
Right.
But I just get in front of my iPad and I sing maybe a verse and the chorus twice or something like that, and I just post them up on TikTok, and I use them sporadically out on my Facebook page, but they've been getting such a great response. Yeah.
Cool.
People love them.
See, I have to step out and do something like that. I'm nervous. I'm not a.
Please do, because you can sing. So what you waiting on?
Larenz, today, when she came out the booth, because I make them record their parts individually too. So
Right.
we do a group sound, and then each one has to go into the booth and record it. I said, you know what? I don't care what you say, but I can listen to you sing all day. I absolutely love her voice. I absolutely love it. I said I can listen to it all day.
When she opened up her mouth at UMAC, I was just like,
yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Like, it just shifted the whole place.
Yes.
It shifted the whole atmosphere.
Absolutely. So I know you guys want to hear the new single.
We're here to talk about you.
I know.
Well, we family, so we talk about each other.
That's right. We talk about each other. We're family.
So I know you guys want to hear the new single, so we're going to play it for you now, and then we'll bring him back and let Pastor Minister Larenz close out the show for us. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Right here, say, He has begun. Anybody believe that? He has begun a good work in me. Song says He's gonna show up in you. All sound good, choir. He's gonna show up in me. Can we take it back to the top? Said He has begun a good work in you. He has begun a good work in me. That He's gonna show up in you. Yeah, He's gonna show up in me. I'm confident in God has begun a good work in me. Said before I was born, He chose me. Now manifestation I shall see. Put it in part. I'm confident in this one thing. God has begun a good work in me. Before I was born, He chose me. Now manifestation I shall see. Come on, brother. I'm gonna get my joy. I'm gonna get my peace. Oh, say greater word. Deep down on the inside of me. Quiet, let's take it up. I'll get my joy. I'm gonna get my peace. Yeah, say greater word. Deep down on the inside of me. Say God's gonna do it. God's gonna do it. Say God's gonna do it. Say greater works for me. Say God's gonna do it. God's gonna do it. I know He's gonna do it. Say greater works for me. Say God's gonna do it. God's gonna do it. God's gonna do it. Say greater works for me. God's gonna do it. I know He's gonna do it. I know He's gonna do it. Say greater works for me. 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 Think God's gonna do it. I know He's gonna do it. He said it in His word. Oh, greater works. for me. Greater works for me. Greater works for me.
Oh,
My sister just texted me because the retreat theme was Manifest in Me 2023.
wow.
Man,
Oh,
I wasn't
look at
thinking we could have
that.
been playing
Look
it
at
all
that.
weekend.
Right.
That's all right. We'll get it in.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So I guess it's on me to close us out.
Yes, it is. You're gonna leave us with some nuggets. I just want you guys
Yes.
remind you guys to tune in on November the 14th. We'll have Pastor Bubby Franklin Fan, and November the 28th, Davion will be here, and hopefully he'll be taught. He's from Florida as well, right?
Georgia.
And
He's
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
He's in Atlanta. He's in Atlanta. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and we're excited to talk to him and find out what his group is doing and all of that kind of stuff. His group was amazing too. Everybody was at UMass.
You guys are
Yeah.
so talented. You guys are on
Yes.
another level. I tell
Yes.
you. We
Yes.
thought we were doing it when we were young. Y'all on another
Yeah. Yup. So yeah, so leave us with some nuggets and it's on you.
Okay, well, I'll leave you with this. Before you were formed in the womb, God already knew you. He chose you, He set you apart, and He sanctified you for such a time as this. Believe God that this will be a year of open doors, of new beginnings, and trust and believe that He will perform greater works in your life. You ain't seen nothing yet. I love you all, and thank you for having me tonight.
Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Grace and peace be with you and your families. Till the next time, be safe. Love you all. Bye-bye.